Why did you come back? I told you to leave and you didn't. So now you're going to jail.
Okay, fine, but just a little more food before I leave.
Leave or the police!
Okay,
Aren't you supposed to be in school?
maybe.
Get back here!
No.
Oh. Wait, no, get back here! Get in school now! Get in school!
Okay, fine.
Go in and visit all your friends.
No.
Go in.
Fine.
Well, it looks like my job here is done. Time to go home.
Let's get out before he finds us. I went to school once. So let's talk about that. So I've been going to school for a while, so I have a lot of funny stories to talk about. But I can't call this school stories because... So let's call this... Jail Adventures. Yes, we'll call this Jail Adventures. Now, like I said, I moved recently, so let's talk about the first day of school at the new school. So for this story to make sense, I need to map out the school. So it's a K-8 school, and it has a library in the center with hallways surrounding it. It has a main entrance. It has a primary wing and playground, which is K-2, an intermediate wing and playground, which is 3-5, and a middle school wing and playground, which is 6-8. A couple of hallways, a gym, and a cafeteria, and we have the school laid out so we can continue with the story. So I walk to school, and I get to the school, and I go to the intermediate playground instead of the middle school playground, because I was told the middle school playground was a rectangular playground in the corner of the building, but that's also where the intermediate playground was. It also had a bunch of 4 squares and basketball hoops, as so did the middle school one, so they looked the same, so I just went to the wrong one. The bell rings, but it's not really a bell, it's more of a beep! So the bell rings, and I'm like, which class am I in? Like, where do I go? And this teacher comes over, she's really nice, and she asks me, what grade are you in? And I say, I'm in 6th grade. And she's like, okay, come with me. I follow her in the building, through the building, and she takes me to the middle school playground. And she says, which teacher has on their list? And of course, my teacher says, I do. And I get really embarrassed because I have to line up with these people that I spent no time with, the people who think I'm stupid because I can't find a simple playground. Nothing said, those people there were really nice and accommodating, and I actually have a lot of fun at that school. But that's the first day of school done, so, because nothing else really interesting happened. So we're gonna move on to the next story. This next story happened in kindergarten. So I rode the school bus before I moved, and it was about a 30-minute drive from my house to the school on the school bus. So one day I started feeling sick, but I didn't tell anyone. But it came to the point where I couldn't hold it in, and I was sitting with my sister and her friend. By the way, this is important to note that I make kind of a gagging sound when I'm about to throw up. So I make my gag.
I think TNT is about to barf. Oh, he's fine.
Are you sure about that?
Miss Smith quickly pulled me in the seat across the aisle, which was empty, and cleaned up my sister as best as she could, and gave me a trash can. Then she drove as quickly as she could to the school. Then, when we got to the school, the nurse took me and my sister away and checked my temperature, which was normal. I think I just got motion sick. This is a really scary story, and it happened for a really stupid reason. So basically, I walked through the front stores of the building. Yes, I knew where I was going now. And maybe 10 seconds after I walked through the door, I hear this. Blah, blah, secure classroom procedure. Blah, blah, secure classroom procedure. Blah, blah, secure classroom procedure. There were two 8th graders next to me, and they knew what it meant, but I didn't, so I asked them, and they said it was a lockdown, and we got confused too, because it was too early to have a drill, which meant it must have been real. So we instantly went to the closest room that had a teacher in it, and we sat quietly for about 10 minutes. Blah, blah, secure classroom procedure. Blah, blah, secure classroom procedure. Blah, blah, secure classroom procedure. Blah, blah, secure classroom procedure.
11 minutes later.
Then they came on the loudspeakers and said, "Thanks for your patience in this drill." We found out later that one of the kids had triggered the alarm, but it was a big deal. About 30 police cars arrived from all the neighboring towns, but in the end, we were safe. It was a really dumb reason that it happened. Personally, I feel like unplanned drills like that show what the teacher would actually do. Because of course, like, if the drill is planned, the teacher's just like, oh yeah, this is fine. But if it's not planned, they're like, alright, get over here. Like, we need to hide each other, squish each other, stop talking, So, I just think it shows what the teachers would do, whether it's real or not. Alright, now we're gonna talk about annoying teachers. So I had this substitute that I hated so much, I'm going to call her Miss Annoying. So we were working on a project, and she said that if I didn't get it done, I would get a 0, even if I got it 99% done. And I did get 99% of it done, and are you ready to see what happened? Drum roll, please. I didn't even get graded on it. Looking back, it was definitely just my main teacher saying that instead of us goofing around with the sub. The same teacher also asked me to stop drinking my water from my water bottle, which is like... Water is a crucial thing you need to survive, and you're telling me not to drink it. If I just get the tiniest bit dehydrated, I get really bad headaches. So you're telling me that you would rather have me go to the nurse and not learn the material and, stay in class and stay alive. Pick your battles, Miss Annoying. I also had a teacher who asked me to stop asking questions. Now, I've done my research, and the main way kids learn, and I quote, children and teenagers learn by observing, listening, exploring, experimenting, and asking questions. You know me, just asking questions and doing research just to criticize people and make content. Was that really worth it? I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, but I have had so many problems making this animation. First, my recording software doesn't work for my operating system, so I have to find a new recording software, and then my microphone itself gives up on me, which means I have to wait until Christmas to buy a whole new microphone, and this microphone is so much better that I decided just to redo the entire thing. I'm sorry if this looks rushed, but I'm trying to get it out as quickly as possible. I've made this animation in 2 months. Also, my sister was actually really kind and helpful on the bus, and she actually told the bus driver because she knew about the gagging. So, that was completely for comedic and exaggeration purposes.